Hey, nice to see you guys again. And if you followed my last video from my picks from week 6, the few that saw my videos, I went 11 for 14 against the spread. So start paying attention to me. Subscribe to my videos, like my videos, share me to the universe. All right? So I'm Lee, host of Eel Chief Sports, and we're coming off a fantastic week of week 6 football. We went 11 and 14 against the spread. And all my lines I do get through DraftKings Sportsbook. I do tape these on Wednesday nights, so whatever the lines are at this point is what you'll see at the video here. I want to get these out obviously before kickoff for the Thursday night game. So we went 11 for 14 against the spread. I'm very proud of that. A lot of things fell our way. We took the points in a lot of games, avoided some disasters like Green Bay and a few other games like that, Tampa. So we took the points on those games. Let's talk about week 7, which is where we are at right now. Okay, so tomorrow night's game, which is the Thursday night game, we have the Arizona Cardinals at home. They're 2-4, and they're hosting the 2-4 Saints NFC matchup. The Saints are coming off a loss at home, close loss to the Bengals. They played them tough, but they didn't cover at the end last week. The Cardinals are a team I picked last week. They've been playing well on the road, terrible at home. They were on the road against Seattle last week. They did not show up. It happens. It was a division game. So that was one of our 3 losses last week. So for tomorrow night's game, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals at home -2. I know they haven't won a home game in their last 8 homestands. They got DeAndre Hopkins back for this game. Kyler Murray, I still believe in him. I don't know if this might be the last year of Cliff Kingsbury. I know Patrick Mahomes pretty much got him that job because he was the coach with him at Texas Tech. This might be the spot, and I've been taking I've been taking the Cardinals quite a bit this year. They've covered some. I know they covered against the Eagles. They gave the Eagles a good game at home last time. So they're knocking on the door. The Saints are very beatable. They're 2-4. At this point in the season, these records are kind of saying how these teams are going. So I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals -2 points. Thursday night football. It's not a great game. These past few Thursday night games have not been great. But this should be a little bit better than the last 2. Anywho. Let's move on to Sunday. Morning games. We have an AFC North matchup. We have the Baltimore Ravens. They're 3-3. They're hosting the Browns 2-4. Browns are normally a gritty team, and I've usually said that in my videos. Last week though, it did not work out. They had Jacoby Brissett against his old coach, Bill Belichick. That probably made the difference. We did take the Patriots last week. But the Patriots just totally annihilated them when Cleveland was at home. So Cleveland has been in close games up until last week. Now they go on the road and they play the Ravens. The Ravens lost a game. We liked the Ravens last week. They did not win. They did not cover. The Giants just seem to keep winning games. I like the Ravens off a loss. I like Lamar Jackson off the loss. So give me the Ravens. I'm going to lay the points on this one. It's currently at 6.5. Give me the Ravens -6.5 to beat their division rival, AFC North, Cleveland Browns. Okay. All right, moving on. This is a lot of points in this one. We got the 3-3 Buccaneers. The Buccaneers they're a 500 team. It's hard to believe with Tom Brady, but I know they're having their own issues. They're at the Panthers, 1-5. The Panthers easily could be 0-6. I know they beat the Saints a few weeks ago at home. They're having all sorts of issues offensively and defensively. They have a different quarterback in last week against the Rams. We did have the Rams to cover. That was our best play last week. Didn't look good at halftime, but luckily there's 4 quarters to the game, so that's how it goes. The Panthers, the only touchdown they had was a defensive touchdown. They did not score an offensive touchdown the entire game. So for those that followed that game, against the Buccaneers are coming off a terrible, embarrassing beat against Pittsburgh last week, and they were heavy favorites on the road. Mike Tomlin, you have to give respect to him. He's not going to be embarrassed each and every week. And the way that this year is going is that you got to expect the unexpected. Sometimes these underdogs score points. And these favorites, when you lay these large points, and they're not scoring, it makes you very uncomfortable very early in the game. And you just don't want to wait all day for these teams to score. So a lot of times these underdogs, I don't know exactly what the stats are, but I think dogs are covering more than favorites are this year. I would say by far. But again, I don't have the exact stats for that as of week 7, as of week 6, going into week 7. The Panthers are the worst team in the league. There's no doubt about that. They're going to shop Christian McCaffrey, and he will be on another team the next couple of weeks. He's worth too much, and they're going to get rid of him, trade him for a lot of money to a good team, the Bills, the Niners, whoever gets him, the Rams, whoever. It doesn't matter where he goes. They're going to get a lot of picks for him, and Panthers are probably going to be on the clock next year at number 1, but it's early in the season. I can't take a favorite and lay 11 points on the road in this NFL season. You've seen Green Bay, large spreads, Buccaneers, large spreads. They're not covering. These double-digit spreads aren't covering this year. Once in a while, but usually the dogs are covering, regardless of who's playing who. We just had that with what was it? The Chicago Bears at the Vikings in week 5, I believe it was. They were 7.5 point favorites. They lost by 7, but that half the point made the difference. That made the win. So I'm gonna I do not like this game. I'm gonna take the points plus 11. Give me the Panthers. For those that tease, I normally don't tease. If you want to tease it up to 14, so you get 2 touchdowns at home. Tampa Bay is not the same Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady has a lot of issues. There's a lot of dysfunction there this year. He probably shouldn't even be playing this year. But for them to be 3-3, look, if they roll over and beat the Panthers, okay. But they've been kind of a letdown this year. Patriots, large spreads, they have not been covering this year. So I'm going to take the points at home. Maybe there'll be a tighter game. The Buccaneers are going to win this game. The question is by how much. I said that last week. They totally lost the game, but we went the other way with Pittsburgh. Didn't think Pittsburgh was going to win that game. I thought they'd keep it close. So give me the points, plus 11. It's NFL. I'm not laying 11 points on the road with the Buccaneers, who's already lost 3 games. So that's my logic there. All right, and look, if Tom Brady, if this is a few years back, he lights up 44 points on the road, then you know what? Shame on me. But I haven't seen it yet this year from them. Moving on. We got the Detroit Lions 1-4 coming off a bye against the Cowboys 4-2. Cowboys are coming off a tough loss on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. Lions are coming off a bye. They're 1-4. It's funny because the 1 week that they won, we actually had them in my Survivor League, and they played the Commanders. They have not won since. This is an interesting game. It's a 7-point spread. It's easy to take the Cowboys. I believe Dak's going to be back for this game, but I want to see a game under his belt before I lay 7 points. I'm going to take the Lions. I don't love this game. I'm just taking sometimes Dan Campbell. He has his team. I think Swift, the running back for the Lions, is back for this game. Give me the Lions plus the 7 points to cover. I don't expect them to win, but I'll take the points on this one. All right, moving on. We have the 5-1 Giants. I did not see that coming this year for either New York team. At the Jaguars, 2-4. Jaguars are a Jekyll and Hyde team, and it showed again last week. We picked against them. A lot of handicappers that I was following before and after my picks. A lot of them were on Jacksonville against the Colts, and I went the other way. I just didn't trust the Jags. It was a close game, but at the end of the day, it is the final score. So look, this is a very interesting line. The Jags are -3. So you have a 5-1 team playing a 2-4 team, and you get 3 points. So what does that say? That says that Vegas, or whoever your site is that you use of your choice, they want you to take the Giants. They want you to take the Giants in the 3 points. That's what they want you to do. I'm going to take the Jags -3 just simply because of that logic. The Giants are due for a loss. I've been picking against the Giants these last couple weeks, and they've been covering. They've been winning. The Jaguars, when they get their stuff together, they can win. But they're having quarterback issues. He's very floppy with the ball. Trevor Lawrence. I know it's a new coach, not a new coach in the system, Peterson, but just it's a new quarterback coach combo. It's going to a new school. You're not too comfortable right away. It's going to take a good point of the season to get comfortable. It is at Jacksonville. It's going to be Florida weather. I always highlight Florida weather because sometimes these teams aren't comfortable playing in the humid. If you've been to Florida, it sucks. The weather's terrible. Give me the Jaguars minus the 3 points. Or maybe you can go buy yourself a half a point the other way and go 2.5. So if you actually win by a field goal, you'd win instead of push. So it's just a weird line. I don't like it. I don't like the line on this. They want you to take the Giants plus the 3. So when I see games like that, I'm gonna go the other way. I do not like Jacksonville, even though they've had their moments this year. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville minus 3. Moving on, we have AFC South matchup: 3-2-1 Colts. Colts tied their first game of the season against the Texans. At the Titans. Titans are coming off a loss, 3-2. Mike Vrabel coming off a bye. I don't know exactly what his stats are, but he's a good coach. The Titans they were underperforming in the beginning of the year. They seem to be putting it together now. The AFC South is not a good division. It's a terrible division. It's the worst division by far in the NFL. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take the Titans. The current line is 2.5. These teams just played each other a few weeks ago. I believe the Titans beat the Colts on the road. I think the Titans sweep the series. The Colts might be playing a little bit better, which isn't saying much because they started off so terrible. Give me the Titans minus 2.5 at home. All right, interesting game. We got the 3-3 Packers. The Packers. I think all the survivor players this year that the Packers cost to lose is got to be off the board because so many people are on the Packers. And then they're on them the next week. And then they're on them the next week. They're 3-3. They're not covering games. They're not scoring points, or especially not scoring points in the second half. They're at the Commanders. Commanders are 2-4. Commanders finally won a game. The Slowpoke Bowl last Thursday night against Chicago. I know Carson Wentz is out for this game, which is probably a good thing. I believe Taylor Heineke, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Heineke, is going to be starting for this game. And last time I checked, he was kind of a winning quarterback for that organization. He was with Carolina, and now he's with the Commanders, formerly Redskins, even though we're not supposed to say Redskins, even though that there's the Chiefs and there's the Blackhawks. That's okay, but we can't say Redskin. Okay, well, that's how it goes. Heineke plays well with his coach. They used to team together in Carolina. Everyone's going to be on the Packers. A lot of people are going to tell you, oh, yeah, lay the points with the Packers. I'm tired of laying the points with the Packers. They don't score points. He doesn't have the team this year. He got blown out at home against the Jets by 17 points at home last week. They're not a good team. They are not a good team. The Packers should be favorite by 10 points this game, and they should win by 17. But until they start scoring points, especially the second half, I'm not going to pick the Packers. I'm going to go the other way. I'm not saying the Commanders are a good team, but I'm going to take the points. The line right now is 5.5. I'm going to take the Commanders in 5.5. Okay, if we want to go crazy, buy a point and a half rather, and get a touchdown. If Aaron Rodgers wins by 14 points, that's awesome. But I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it yet from him or this team. He doesn't have the team. He's missing his receiver. He's in Las Vegas now, for now until he gets disciplined. Devontae Adams, excuse me. Commanders plus 5.5. Moving on, we got the Jets 4-2. Man, the New York football teams are big surprises this year. But you know what? It's nice to see some fresh blood out there, because not everything is a gimme each week, as we know. You know, sometimes you gotta zig when others zag. I've been doing that quite a bit. And it's win some, lose some. You win more than you lose, you're going to come out a winner. And that's just math. Jets 4-2 at the Broncos. This line is currently Broncos -1. The handicappers don't even know what to do with it. The Jets have already won 2 more games than the Broncos. The Broncos are in the hole with Russell Wilson. I don't know if it's him or his team or what it is, but the combination between him and his coaches, they're not scoring points. Their defense is good. The defense is keeping him in these games. They had a chance to beat the Chargers last Monday night. The Chargers ended up, they took them to overtime, and the Broncos, I believe, got the ball in overtime first. Couldn't do anything with it. So Russell Wilson's just not the same. He's injured, but he's not on injury reports. They have to win a game sometime, and I've been picking against the Broncos as far as wins. We did have the Broncos on Monday night, though, to cover. Just it was a division matchup, but this is not a division matchup, even though it is the same conference. The Jets are the better team, but I'm going to take the Broncos at home. They need to win this game. It's a desperation game. I'm going to leave it there. It's at home. It's in Denver, and that's where we're going to go. So it's pretty much pick 'em. It's Broncos -1. This might even end up at a pick if people just start putting on money on the Jets. But the Jets they're winning games. They're not going to win every week. There's going to be that one letdown game. It might be here. Give me the Broncos -1. All right, and moving on, we have the Houston Texans coming off a bye. They won their first game the week before against the Jaguars. That was a division game, and they won the game on the road at the Raiders 1-4. The Raiders are up. Actually, both these teams are coming off a bye. The Texans have been in every game this season. They have not gotten blown out by anybody. They've lost games, but they've been tight. They don't have a lot of stars on their team. A lot of the best players are not on the team anymore. J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, which we'll see his name in a few weeks when the Browns, I think it's week 11. They're at Vegas. The Raiders, they came close against the Chiefs on a Monday night game the week before last. They lost by a point. They gave up a big lead, but look, it's AFC West. It's a division. They played them tough. They're 7-point favorites, the Raiders. They're coming off a bye, as are the Texans. The Raiders got to have a good game behind them. They got to have a feel-good game. This game can't be, a 3-point game with 2 minutes left, and the Raiders have the ball. They need to create some distance. Devontae Adams is playing in this game, even though there's going to be some disciplinary action supposedly regarding him pushing the cameraman or the cameraman being in the wrong place at the wrong time, whatever that may be. I'm going to lay the points on this one. This could be a push. Let's go Raiders -7. All right, moving on. We have another AFC West team. We got the Chargers 4-2. They're hosting the Seahawks 3-3. Seahawks have been a surprising team. They've covered some. They're scoring points. They definitely made up better in the trade with Geno Smith as the quarterback, and they shipped away Russell Wilson. So that definitely worked out better for them. They're looking really, really smart. They're at the Chargers. The Chargers, they're not putting away teams. They're winning games, but they're coming back from behind. Even with Denver. Denver was up in that game, I believe 10-0, and then they tied it up. They're playing from behind, the Chargers. They're not they're not the powerhouse that goes up 14-0, 21-0. Even against the Browns the week before, it was a tight game, up and back, up and back. The line here is 6 points. That's what it is currently right now via DraftKings. The Chargers need a game where they cover, not just win. I think it happens here. Give me the Chargers minus the 6 points to beat the Seattle Seahawks. All right, and moving on, we got 3 more games. Okay, we got the my favorite team. Those who don't know me, the Kansas City Chiefs are my favorite team. The Chiefs they're 4-2, and they're at the Niners 3-3. The Chiefs coming off a loss against the Bills at home. I had a feeling that was going to happen. That was a big redemption game for them. And they're at the Niners 3-3. The Niners, they flopped against the Niners. It was against who did the? You know what? Niners didn't even play last week. Oh yes, they did. I'm sorry. The Niners flopped against the Falcons. They lost by 14 on the road. That's right. And we had Atlanta. Atlanta was underdog 5.5 points that game, and that was just too many points for me because Atlanta's been covering. The Niners, I like them off a bounce back game rather. I know it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming in. The Chiefs, I think, are going to have a letdown game. They were just putting all their energy into the Buffalo Bills last week. They want you to bet the Chiefs, and I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I'm going to take the Niners at home plus the 3 um, to cover this game. I think it'll be a 3-point. By a half a point. Let's go 3.5 Niners on this one. So Niners plus 3.5. So if Chiefs win in overtime or with time expiring rather in the fourth quarter, they win by 3. We cover by a half a point. The Chiefs, I do like the Chiefs this year. So sometimes in the middle of the season, they tend to lose. They tend to lose games that they're supposed to win, and they want you to take the Chiefs. So, take the Chiefs. I only have to lay 3 points. I'm gonna go the home team. I'm gonna take the Niners. All right, we got the Steelers 2-4. Impressive win against Tom Brady last week. That was nice. At the Dolphins 3-3. Dolphins. This is the Sunday night game on NBC. The Dolphins finally get Tua back. I think that's been the nucleus of the offense is Tua coming back. It's his first game back off the concussion, so you don't know exactly how he's going to perform. I don't like to jump on teams when he's coming off an injury like that. So just for those purposes, look, Miami's the better team. Miami looked really good the first 3 weeks. The 3 weeks that they've won their first 3, they lost the 3 after that. So very inconsistent. So now they're a 500 team. And the Steelers, they only lost 1 more game than them. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the points. I just think they're going to keep it a closer game than people think on Sunday night. Simply taking the points for a little bit of value. If Miami blows them out, if it's the Miami team from when they were 3-0, then yeah, then they're gonna cover and they're gonna win. But I want to see a game or two before laying that amount of points at home. Okay, plus it's Mike Tomlin on prime time. So you got to give respect to the coach. You got to respect to the players. And plus they're coming up a nice feel-good win against the Buccaneers. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 7 points. All right, and then that wraps up for the Sunday games. Monday night, Chicago Bears. You got to watch the Bears again? Well, they play every week except for their bye week, right? Doesn't look like they're going to make the postseason. But hey, I've seen stranger things. 2-4 Bears at the Patriots 3-3. The Patriots, they had one of the best weeks last week with their third-string quarterback Zappe when the Patriots were at Cleveland. The Bears, they do have a lot of time off here. They played the Thursday night opening up week 6, so they got about 10-11 days to prepare for the Patriots. The Bears are not a good team. The Bears are kind of like the Broncos. They're just kind of squirting by. They, don't score enough points. Their defense is so-so. They're one of the most boring team to watch. I don't know how much time they're going to give Justin Fields. So they'll probably move into a different direction with him in this offseason. It wouldn't surprise me unless things turn around. You never know. But it doesn't look that way right now. The Patriots right now are minus 8 points. That's a lot of points. It wasn't last week because they blew out the Browns. With the extra time to prepare, the Bears were a lot of people are picking against the Bears, but the Bears covered. Here's my logic. The Bears covered. They lost within 7 at Minnesota. Okay? That's a division game, which is theoretically harder, right? Who's better, the Vikings or the Patriots? If you had to go on a neutral field, the Vikings would probably be favored by a few points, right? So that's my logic on this one. If the Bears can keep it within 7 against the Vikings, they're going to keep it within 7 against the Patriots. That's just my logic on this one. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the Bears plus the 8. So not only do you get 7, you get 8 points on that one. So I'm going to take the Bears and 8 points. All right. And those are my selections for week 7. Please do subscribe to my channel. At Eel Chief is going to be my Twitter account too. I made a fairly new Twitter, so if you can subscribe to me on there, and then please do follow me on here, like my page, and I am interested in possibly hopping on your podcast, giving my picks. I know there's a lot of different opportunities out there. A lot of there's a lot of sports handicappers out there, and people do it for a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure, and I'm kind of in the middle with it. So, I've been handicapping for a long time, but I'm kind of fresh on the screen. So, you're welcome to email me directly at eelchief@gmail.com. And my name is Lee. And best of luck in week 7.